Before we start, I want to make it clear that this is not the final app. This is a working alpha build whereby the correct functionality has been carved out, and we're now in the process of reworking the user interface to be more accessible. After our initial round of testing with the last version of the app, we found several areas that we could improve from a usability perspective, and we've spent the past few weeks implementing those changes, and this was alongside the cross-chain integration. You're going to see several instances throughout this app whereby data is not available or it's shown as loading, and this is because this version of the build is running in a sandbox environment, which basically means that certain API calls and data requests, they're just not available to execute. So what you're seeing here is our new introductory screens to highlight some key features, and this is primarily for the benefit of new users and people that may not be well versed with crypto wallets. These are currently static, but they're going to be animated and on automatic scroll on a loop for the final build. We'll also look at getting some more eye-catching 3D assets created that are a little bit more along the StrikeX branding. So if a user already has a wallet, then they have the option to dive straight into importing the seed phrase by typing into that large box in the middle of the screen. We're also working on adding a cool feature whereby if a user misspells a word, the dictionary is able to highlight that and the phrase will be popped up in red, so it's clear to the user that that's something that they need to fix before they can move on. If we head back and tap on the create a new wallet button, we're taken through to the onboarding process. This is a new screen that we've added to further educate new users as to exactly what they'll be seeing next and the importance of a recovery phrase, and that heads on to the next section. The user is given their list of phrases. They have the ability to refresh to an entirely new set, or they can simply copy these to their clipboard. Heading to the next screen, the user is prompted to highlight the correct phrases in the right order. As the user does this, the phrases light up in a teal color. And with the final build, we want these phrases to be able to group together so it's really easy for the person to see exactly which phrases are remaining. As soon as the user enters their phrase, they immediately get a well done messaging with the option to copy the phrase again if they need to. Then we head to the naming stage, hit enter and proceed. We've added an extra layer of protection to the app by enforcing a PIN. On top of this, we also provide the option of a biometric login. So I'm currently using a Pixel Pro, and this only has a fingerprint scanner, which is why you don't see the face icon. Heading forwards, we're taken through to the congratulations screen, whereby the user is prompted to confirm that they've understood the importance of the recovery phrase, and they still have the opportunity to head back and grab the recovery phrase if they need to. Hitting the check enables the button underneath, and the user can move forward onto the actual app. So this is the dashboard. As you can see, there's a little bit of work that still needs doing, but it's getting there. A new user that lands on this screen will see a balance of 0, and they'll get a flatline chart, and there'll be some dummy numbers going up along the sides. They won't have any assets visible in their portfolio. This is just for internal testing. The user can hit the time frame button and select the other chart options. They can open up notifications to see anything that they might have missed during the day. And as a new user, they won't have any assets yet, so their stats, transactions, and watch list tabs will be empty, but they'd all be prompting the user to get started in performing some sort of action. Heading back to the main dashboard screen, if I hit the wallet icon, it brings up the wallet overview. If I hit the plus icon, I can go ahead and get started on creating a new wallet entirely, or I can hit import to pull through an existing wallet with my seed phrase. For this, I literally just type or paste in the seed phrase and hit the check mark icon. Name the wallet. Next. Imported. Opening the wallet overview screen, you can now see that the second wallet has also been imported. A major overhaul we've made to the app is the exchange section. We now have 3 distinct designs for buying, swapping, and transferring. We also have a quick shortcut to the user's transaction history. This buy and sell section will have a list of available assets that the user can buy and sell directly, and when they tap on an asset, they'll see the appropriate choices. Hitting buy, the user can immediately begin tapping in the amount that they want to purchase, and they'll get a calculation based on the market value of the asset at that moment in time, and they can proceed with their purchase. We've built a thorough receipt-style checkout process whereby the user will get a transactional breakdown of the asset that they're purchasing. And we've also built in options for additional payment gateways that we integrate in the future, as well as the payment methods that those gateways provide, which means that you'll have less issues when heading through the actual provider checkout. If we hit confirm, you can see the function backend of the Banxa integration is already in place. The swap section of the app is where the user will be able to swap between assets, and we've based this design style on the V2 of the DEX. The user can tap the asset and select exactly what they want from the available list, and they'll be able to see the existing balance at a glance, as well as quickly load in percentage values. Heading to the transfer screen, this is where the user will be able to send any asset that they have available to another wallet. And for that, they simply tap on an asset, input the amount, and follow the steps. In addition, we've also built in the capability for the users to store addresses in a very basic fashion. If I hit on this address book, you can see that it displays the wallet that the user already owns, as well as some saved options. This is just an example screen, but had I selected any of my other wallets, this would take me to a familiar checkout process whereby I can verify exactly how much I'm sending from which wallet and to which saved address, as well as the value at the time of the sending. The receive process is still being worked on, but the concept is still the same, except you have the option of a larger pool of assets to select from. Heading to the marketplace section, a user will be able to hit on an asset. If it's an asset that we've integrated into the app, then the user is shown a large trade button. The screen is currently being rebuilt from a UI perspective, but it will contain all of the key information that we initially wanted and more, such as the option to be able to see exactly how the asset is performing on other exchanges. If you notice at the top of the screen, we've also integrated some options for the user to set price alerts, add assets to the watch list. These options will follow the user down the screen, so they're always available at the tap of a button. We've also made it so that the trade button contains various options that will open up relevant pop-up window on the exchange. If a user taps on an asset that isn't available to trade on the app, then the user is given a replacement add to watch list button. And we've made it the appropriate color to ensure that there's no confusion between the two. You can see that I've hit the button and the favorite icon has turned purple, and we're heading back to the dashboard section so you can see that this asset is now safely in our watch list. Heading to the settings section of the app, a user can hit the account name to bring up the wallet overview window. They can copy the wallet address directly, as well as open up the native BSC scan page in an external window. Tapping on native currency will load up the key default native currencies we've opted for, and in the future we'll be opening the app up to more options. There's an address book if you need to access it again. Tapping on the plus icon will bring up the add contact section, whereby you can input the username and address and save it. As Rob mentioned, we're making great progress, and every week we're inching closer to beta and getting the product out there so we can build on it, improve it, and get the world investing, with a tool that's tailored to us.